Hello everyone, this is Dr. Shivangi and I am MCH resident in reproductive medicine and surgery. And today I'll discuss epigenetic clock in infertility. So let's start. I will discuss this topic under the headings of Introduction to Epigenetics. What are epigenetic mechanisms? What is epigenetic clock? DNA methylation and its relation to the fertility related diseases, how we can reverse these epigenetic clocks, what are the epigenetic based tests available, take home message, and my references. So, this is the picture of a 55-year-old lady जिन्होंने नॉर्मली कंसीव किया और एक हेल्दी बेबी डिलीवर किया. Isn't it amazing if we think कि कैसे एक 55-year-old लेडी शी इज कंसीविंग नॉर्मली, वही कुछ लेडीज इस एज तक 55 ईयर्स तक आते आते वो पोस्ट मेनोपॉजल हो जाती हैं. कुछ फीमेल्स तो इवन जिनको प्रीमेच्योर ओवेरियन इनसफिशिएंसी होता है वो 40 ईयर्स से पहले ही पोस्ट मेनोपॉजल हो जाती हैं. कुछ 23-24 ईयर्स इतनी यंग होके भी कंसीव नहीं कर पा रही होती हैं और कुछ इतनी 55 ईयर्स पे भी नेचुरली कंसीव कर रही होती हैं. तो ऐसा क्या डिफरेंस है उन लोगों में? दिस वी विल डिस्कस टुडे. So, infertility, it may be caused by some specific and multiple specific problems, or because of the multiple physical and physiological factors that include hormonal and homeostatic disruptions, environmental and genetic alterations. Biological processes that include gametogenesis and embryogenesis, they require epigenetic modifications. These epigenetic modifications, they can cause heritable epigenetic mutations and thus can lead to diseases that include infertility. What is epigenetics? Epigenetics means those biological processes that regulate the gene expression without altering nucleotide sequence. So, DNA को without alter किए, those processes that regulate the gene expression is epigenetics. It's a dynamic process. It is influenced by different biological and environmental factors. These epigenetic mechanisms are, there are three types of epigenetic mechanisms. These are DNA methylation, histone modifications, and microRNA interference. These histone modifications, RNA interference, DNA methylation, either alone or they interact with each other and lead to the gene expression. So, among these epigenetic mechanisms, the most researched epigenetic mechanism is DNA methylation. What is DNA methylation exactly is? See, DNA methylation, as the name suggests, the DNA को methylate करना. That is, it involves the binding of a methyl group to the DNA that results in the change in the expression and functions of the embedded genes. And it often results in the gene silencing. So, for the DNA methylation, enzyme that is involved is DNA methyltransferases. And for the demethylation, it is the 10-11 translocation enzyme that is involved. This DNA methylation, it's caused by DNA methyltransferases that add a methyl group to the 5' carbon position of a cytosine in a CpG context. There are three types of DNA methyltransferase enzyme. There is DNMT1, DNMT3A, and DNMT3B. This DNMT1, it regulates the established methylated DNA, that is, it maintains the methylation process. Whereas this DNMT3A and 3B, they are involved in de novo methylation, that is, new DNA methylation process. While this 10-11 translocation enzyme 1, 2, and 3, they are responsible for the demethylation of the DNA. So, how these epigenetic mechanisms, their disruptions are linked to infertility. So, whenever there is a, if we talk about DNA methylation, so whenever there is a DNA hypermethylation or hypomethylation, it disrupts the genomic imprinting and parental epigenetic mark erasure that cause abnormal expression of some genes and imprinted genes involved in gametogenesis and embryogenesis. Next is histone post-translational modification. Whenever there is an abnormal histone modification, it alters the expression of certain genes that are important in gametogenesis and embryogenesis. Also, it disrupts sperm DNA protamination that cause sperm abnormalities. Next is miRNA. Upregulation or downregulation, it alters the expression of certain genes that are important in gametogenesis and embryogenesis. Now we know what is DNA methylation is, but what are the uses of studying these specific genes that are affected by abnormal DNA methylation? so that we can explain certain idiopathic infertility cases, because approximately 30 to 40% cases are idiopathic, and for most of the cases we say it's idiopathic, we don't know the cause. So by studying these abnormal DNA methylation, we can explain such idiopathic infertility cases. Next is for better understanding of the precise regulators of gametogenesis and embryogenesis. Next is to improve the clinical assessment of couples that are affected by infertility, to improve the detection of women who are at risk of adverse pregnancy outcomes or fetal complications, to reveal novel strategies for therapy to treat such cases. So, how we have to study these abnormal DNA methylation? So, here comes the role of epigenetic clocks. What are epigenetic clocks? Epigenetic clocks are, they are based on age-associated DNA methylation changes. So, as a person ages, some part of its DNA में DNA हाइपरमिथाइलेशन मतलब डीएनए मिथाइलेशन होते हैं, कुछ पार्ट में डीमिथाइलेशन होते हैं. तो बेस्ड ऑन एज एसोसिएटेड डीएनए मिथाइलेशन चेंजेस, these epigenetic clocks, they they measure the age of the patient, and the age that they measure is the epigenetic age. So जो patient की chronological age है and epigenetic clock that is it is measuring as the epigenetic age, उनके बीच में क्या difference है उसको हम देखते हैं in epigenetic clock. So the chronological age in a given sample, it can be further estimated based on the percentage of methylation at the selected CpGs. And the accuracy of the clock is measured by the correlation coefficient between the actual chronological age of the patient and the estimated age and the average absolute difference among them. So, what is epigenetic clock is doing? It is telling us how much DNA, age-associated DNA methylation change is there. What is it estimating? Age of the epigenetic age, health span, lifespan, and the mortality risk. What is the validation of aging intervention so that we can turn the epigenetic clock back, or we can slow it down. And there are many epigenetic clocks, and the most common one that are used are Horvath's clock, Hannum's clock, phenoage, and the Grimmage. There are two terms in epigenetic clocks, that is age acceleration and age deceleration. So when we measure the age in the epigenetic clock, when the epigenetic age is higher than the real chronological age, that means a person is going towards the age acceleration side. And when the epigenetic age is lower than the real chronological age, that means the person is going towards the age deceleration. These are the different epigenetic clocks that are there. These are Horvath, Hannum, Z, Picaresca, Skin and Blood, Phenoage, Grimmage, Dunedin Poem. These are different epigenetic clocks that are available. Some are multi-tissue clocks, some are only blood clocks, right? Some are based on this, like Horvath, it is based on 353 CpG sites. Hannum is based on 71 CpG sites. This Horvath, there it is set on in chronological age. Hannum is also set on chronological age. Then, and some are based on lifespan, some are based on phenotypic age, some are based on pace of aging of the person, right? So the majority of these clock building algorithms, they are based on penalized regression models that are applied to select and weigh the key CpG sites whose age-related hyper or hypomethylation explains or correlates with age in the training data. Composite epigenetic clocks like phenoage, Grimmage, and the DNA telomere length estimator, which combines CpGs with various physiological or cellular aging parameters, they predict morbidity and mortality more accurately. So, what exactly is epigenetic clock? सपोज हमें देखना है कि यूट्राइन एज कितनी है, एंडोमेट्रियल एज, अगर हमें उसकी एपिजेनेटिक एज देखनी है तो हम क्या करेंगे, हम एंडोमेट्रियल टिश्यू कलेक्ट करेंगे, हमारे पास टिश्यू सैंपल होगा, देन वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर इट, देन माइक्रोएरे बेस्ड या एनजीएस बेस्ड डीएनए मिथाइलेशन स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेसिंग करेंगे, देन सिस्टम में ऑलरेडी एल्गोरिदम्स फीड होती हैं, तो हमें बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक एनालिसिस करना है ऑफ ऑब्टेन सिग्नल्स, देन बायोलॉजिकल इंटरप्रिटेशन एंड क्लिनिकल प्रिडिक्शन. And we have to see कि patient के जो uterine age है, uterine function, it is coming in the age acceleration zone or the age deceleration zone. The most widely utilized clocks in preclinical and clinical studies are Horvath, Hannum, Phenoage, and Grimmage. Horvath and Hannum clock, they provide a strikingly accurate estimate of an individual's chronological age. Grimmage can estimate the lifespan. Phenoage can accurately predict the risk of age-related diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's disease. Other methylation-based aging markers include the blood-based biomarkers, that is Dunedin pace of aging methylation, and gonadin pace. Tissue specific, that is brain or cardiac clocks, they are also devised. See, age acceleration is associated with age-related conditions and mortality causes. When estimated DNA methylation age is lower than the true chronological age, this phenomenon is known as age deceleration. Epigenetic clocks, they can be applied to assess the age-related tissue and organismal functional decline and to predict the progression of various age-associated diseases and mortality. These epigenetic changes, they can be normal and natural occurrence, or they can be influenced by the endogenous as well as exogenous factors. Like अगर कोई पेशेंट है, बीएमआई ज्यादा है, स्मोकिंग करता है, अल्कोहल कर लेता है, स्ट्रेस है बहुत ज्यादा, कोई इन्फेक्शन है, तो ऑब्वियसली वो इस एज एक्सेलरेशन की तरफ जाएगा। अगर कोई पर्सन है, वो प्रॉपर 8 आवर्स की स्लीप ले रहा है, हेल्दी डाइट ले रहा है, एक्टिव लाइफस्टाइल है, तो वो एज डिसएलरेशन की साइड जाएगा। Now, we can use these DNA methylation studies to explain causes of infertility, like oocyte activation deficiency. What happens in oocyte activation deficiency is calcium oscillations are the key events that regulate the oocyte activation. Whenever there is an oocyte activation deficiency, it's a cause of a failed ICSI. राइट, अगर फील्ड एक्सी है मतलब तो उसमें टोटल फर्टिलाइजेशन फेलियर होगा। एंड वी ऑलवेज थॉट कि टोटल फर्टिलाइजेशन फेलियर हो गया तो it is because of male factor infertility, but because of this abnormal DNA methylation abnormalities, they explain the deleterious consequences of abnormal calcium oscillations on gene expression and post fertilization development. Next is these DNA methylation abnormalities, they can explain the these endometriosis, PCOS, obesity. Like endometriosis, in some studies it has been found that altered DNA methylation is there in endometriosis patients compared to the healthy endometrium. In a genome-wide methylation study of the endometrium of women expressing endometriosis compared with a meshed control, 59 genes were hypermethylated and 61 genes were hypomethylated. तो कुछ genes hyper रहते हैं, कुछ genes hypomethylated रहते हैं. So aberrant methylation and expression of genes contributed to abnormal endometrial cell proliferation and function. Next is PCOS. PCOS patients, they demonstrate genome-wide hypomethylation in multiple tissues. So specific genes that disproportionately affected by methylation abnormalities in PCOS phenotype include these genes. Next is obesity. Obesity is associated with a lot of epigenetic alterations and that include aberrant methylation in multiple tissues. These aberrant DNA methylation, they can be a mechanism of transgenerational risk of adverse health outcomes. So these epigenetic clocks, we can use them to assess the uterine aging and infertility. See, अगर कोई पेशेंट आती है हमारे पास, एजेड पेशेंट आई, और तो हम क्या कहते हैं कि यार ये पेशेंट की तो oocyte क्वालिटी अच्छी नहीं होगी, हम इसको डोनर oocyte प्रोग्राम में ले लेते हैं, डोनर oocyte DOIVF हम उसका कर देते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि जब हम एंडोमेट्रियम को एडिक्वेट हार्मोनल स्टिमुलेशन करते हैं इन पोस्ट मेनोपॉजल वुमेन, तो इम्प्लांटेशन हो जाता है, प्रेगनेंसी अचीव हो जाती है। इसका मतलब क्या है कि जैसा पेशेंट एज करेगा तो उसकी पुअर oocyte quality is the primary cause of the age related decline in female fertility rather than the endometrial receptivity, कि वो तो हम ठीक कर सकते हैं बट पुअर oocyte quality we can't treat. So the impact of uterine aging on reproductive success remains contradictory. फिर आई एपिजेनेटिक क्लॉक। जब हमने एपिजेनेटिक क्लॉक्स यूज किया इन द एंडोमेट्रियम, these are the different epigenetic clocks that we have used in the endometrium, that Horvath or pan tissue clock, Levine DNA methylation phenoage, Zhang DNA methylation clock, Eltham age clock, Horvath pan tissue clock. इनसे हमें पता चला कि नहीं, एंडोमेट्रियम भी एज करती है, एंड एंडोमेट्रियम इज ऑल्सो एन इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर इन एज रिलेटेड infertility of the patient. So, correlation between the epigenetic age that is estimated in the endometrium and chronological age that demonstrates that the endometrial tissue of a 20-year-old woman, it definitely differs from that of a 30 or 40-year-old counterpart, thus highlighting the existence of age-related alterations in endometrial tissue and uterine aging. So what are the future aspects, future perspectives, how we can use these epigenetic clocks? First is Differentially methylated genes, they are suggested to play a role in impaired endometrial receptivity of RAF patients. Next is analysis of DNA methylation. We can use to predict the risk of endometrial cancer. So genes that are methylated in endometrial cancer, they can be identified in benign endometrial biopsies up to approximately 9.2 years prior to the diagnosis. Application of these epigenetic logs, they might be a promising tool to predict or to gain insights into the origin of various endometrial pathologies. Next is how abnormal DNA methylation is linked to male infertility. So several studies, they have analyzed the association between abnormal DNA methylation and certain genes with abnormal sperm parameters. This methylene tetrahydrofolate reductase enzyme, we know it's an important enzyme, and its inactivation leads to the hypomethylation of sperm DNA and arrest of spermatogenesis. वहीं अगर इसका hypermethylation हो जाए of MTHFR gene का, it could decrease its activity and impair the normal methylation of sperm DNA. Next is there are DNMT1, 3A, 3B, the decreased testicular expression of these enzymes and changes in the DNA methylation. They have been found in patients who are affected with non-obstructive azoospermia. Reduced levels of TT1, 2, 3 mRNAs. They have been found in semen samples from patients affected with oligozoospermia and asthenozoospermia. TET1 deficient mice, they display a progressive reduction in the spermatogonia count and premature reproductive aging by downregulating genes that are involved in germ cell differentiation, meiosis, and reproduction. Next is this abnormal DNA methylation is linked to age-related infertility as well. Both paternal and maternal age are associated with lower reproductive potential, infertility, poor pregnancy outcomes, higher health risk to the fetus, and higher rates of failure with ART. Now, male infertility. Differential methylation of four candidate genes. These genes, they were identified as the cause of declining infertility with advancing paternal age in 64% of cases. So, applying a machine learning algorithms to analyze these sperm DNA methylation patterns, Pilsner et al. Developed and externally validated a sperm epigenetic aging clock to demonstrate that an advanced SCA was associated with longer time to pregnancy and shorter gestational ages. Smokers, obviously, अगर कोई smoke करेगा तो it is more towards the SCE compared to the non-smokers. More advanced SCE, that is sperm epigenetic aging clock रहेगी compared to the non-smokers. Next is female infertility. Older women with a natural decline in the ovarian function, they show DNA methylation abnormalities that result in significantly lower gene expression than the young women. DMNT1 expression, it increases in GB oocytes with aging that corresponds to an increase in global DNA methylation levels. Upregulation of DNMT3A and 3B in oocytes and hypermethylation with silencing of autophagy-related genes with aging. Next is DNA methylation alterations. They are found in ART. Animal studies, they have shown that if we are doing ART, it can alter the normal DNA methylation of imprinting associated genes. In one study, abnormal methylation at this gene was found to be present in the child who was born via ART. That suggests that the establishment and maintenance of genome imprinting may be affected by ART. They compared the methylome of ICSI and naturally conceived children, and these studies they revealed that there are significant DNA methylation differences, but with a small effect size. So these small epigenetic differences they were found to resolve during adulthood with no impact on development and health. Risk of potential DNA methylation in ART children, but no causal association with any impact on health or disease susceptibility. So this thing we know that these epigenetic alterations are reversible. So, any possibilities for reversing or slowing down these epigenetic clocks? क्या हम actually these epigenetic clocks को reverse कर सकते हैं, slow कर सकते हैं? Yes, we can do. How? Healthy lifestyle. Some drugs are there to reverse these epigenetic clocks. Next is some genetic interventions. And what? हमारा aim क्या है? To improve and to extend health span as well as life span. हर किसी को लॉन्ग लाइफ चाहिए. हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल क्या करना है? हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल में कैलोरिक रिस्ट्रिक्शन, जब हम कैलोरिक रिस्ट्रिक्शन करते हैं तो एज रिलेटेड डिजीजेस कम होती हैं, एंटीऑक्सीडेशन इंक्रीज होता है, इम्यूनिटी बढ़ती है, ऑर्गन फंक्शन इंप्रूव होते हैं। रिदम मेंटेन करनी है, जो भी काम है उसको एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे करना है। लाइफ स्पैन बढ़ेगा, ब्लड प्रेशर कम होगा, इन्फ्लेमेशन कम होगा बॉडी में, मेटाबॉलिक सिंड्रोम्स कम होंगे, एजिंग रिलेटेड डिजीजेस कम होंगी। एक्सरसाइज करेंगे डेली, चाहे थोड़ा थोड़ा टाइम के लिए हो, बट डेली एक्सरसाइज करेंगे तो लिम्फोपाइसिस इंक्रीज होती है, एजिंग रिलेटेड जीन्स कम होते हैं, मसल रिजनरेशन होता है, माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल फंक्शंस इंप्रूव होते हैं। एक स्टडी हुआ that is recently published in 2024, that's a pilot randomized clinical trial. उन्होंने क्या बताया कि उन्होंने एक 8 वीक का ट्रीटमेंट प्रोग्राम डिवाइस किया, जिसमें डाइट था, स्लीप था, एक्सरसाइज था, कुछ रिलैक्सेशन गाइडेंस थी, सप्लीमेंटल प्रोबायोटिक्स एंड फाइटोन्यूट्रिएंट्स थे, और एक उन्होंने कंट्रोल ग्रुप लिया और उसमें उन्होंने कुछ भी नहीं किया। Was no intervention done in those patients. Then genome-wide DNA methylation analysis was conducted on the saliva samples, and DNA methylation age was calculated using the online Harvard DNA methylation age clock. एंड व्हाट दे फाउंड इज कि सिर्फ डाइट एंड लाइफस्टाइल ट्रीटमेंट से 3.23 ईयर्स डिक्रीज हुआ इन डीएनए मिथाइलेशन एज कंपेयर्ड विद कंट्रोल्स। तो उन्होंने अप्रोक्सीमेटली 3 ईयर्स एपिजेनेटिक एज पेशेंट की रिवर्स, पर्सन की एपिजेनेटिक एज रिवर्स कर दी। नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट आर दीज एपिजेनेटिक बेस्ड इनफर्टिलिटी ड्रग्स। their mechanism is by blocking or deleting the enzymes that modulate these epigenetic alterations in the affected individuals, thereby preventing or reversing the associated disease. But currently, no particular epigenetic drug is approved for treating infertility. They are all under research. सो सपोज हमने एपिजेनेटिक क्लॉक यूज किया और हमें डीएनए हाइपोमिथाइलेशन लग रहा है, डीएनए हाइपोमिथाइलेशन आ रहा है, तो हमें क्या करना है? हमें मिथाइल डोनेटिंग कंपाउंड्स हम दे सकते हैं, लाइक फोलेट, मिथ्योनिन, कोलिन, बीटेन, विटामिन बी 12, या फिर हम डीएनए डीमिथाइलेटिंग एंजाइम्स को ब्लॉक कर सकते हैं। दिस इज साइटोसिन बेस्ड लाइट कंपाउंड नोन एज बॉबकैट 339, बट इट इज नॉट अप्रूव्ड येट। देन हमें अगर डीएनए हाइपर मिथाइलेशन मिल रहा है तो डीएनए मिथाइलेशन इनहिबिटर्स वी कैन यूज, लाइक जेबुलरिन, डाइसल्फिराम, डेसिटाबीन, जेसिटिडीन एंड केटोसिन। These are the different drugs that can be used, but these are all under research. कोई भी अप्रूव नहीं है अभी तक। नेक्स्ट इज जेनेटिक इंटरवेंशंस टू ट्रीट इनफर्टिलिटी। दिस इज द स्टडी that is Indian study only, by IIT Kanpur, the gene therapy for female infertility, a far-fetched dream or reality. इन्होंने क्या किया, इन्होंने एडिनोवायरसेस लिए एज अ वेक्टर, और इन्होंने सबको स्क्रीन किया। और माइस, हमें पता है कि मोस्टली फीमेल्स में क्या होता है, ओव्यूलेशन डिसऑर्डर्स होते हैं एज वन ऑफ द वेरी कॉमन कॉज ऑफ इनफर्टिलिटी। तो उन्होंने एक ऐसी माइस लिया जिसमें ऊजेनेसिस ओव्यूलेटरी डिसऑर्डर्स थे, तो इन्होंने एडेनोवायरस से वो जीन उसमें इंजेक्ट किया, तो वो फीमेल फर्टाइल हो गई, उसके प्रोजेनी बन गए। इट्स गुड ना। तो जो भी जीन नहीं है, वी कैन डू द we can use these vectors, and we can do these genetic interventions. Next is we can do partial reprogramming. It can be performed by the induction of a set of specific genes that results in erasure of the epigenetic memories of the adult somatic cells and lead to the formation of induced pluripotent stem cells that promise strategy to rejuvenate the cells. But ये जो पार्शियल रिप्रोग्रामिंग करनी है, जो हमें फैक्टर्स इंजेक्ट करने हैं, उनका डिलीवरी रूट क्या होगा, कहीं उनको इंजेक्ट करके टेराटोमास का रिस्क तो नहीं है, ये चीजें अभी अंडर रिसर्च है। Next is epigenetic based tests for infertility. There is no standard epigenetic based test for infertility, but एक Episona, एक epigenetics data company, they developed in 2016 a new male fertility test, that is SEED. This SEED hoped to provide additional useful information in the evaluation of the male fertility patient, in addition to and beyond the information of a semen analysis can provide. It focuses mainly on the DNA methylation, and it examines at least 480,000 regions of the sperm DNA for unusual methylation at certain gene sites that are important to fertility. Each abnormal region detected is scored as a risk for either male factor infertility or poor embryo development. The results of the test determine the type of reproductive assistance the person needs. That is, patient को IUI चाहिए या IVF चाहिए बता सकता है. Its benefits are: it is more effective than traditional semen analysis. It identifies problems that are related to sperm function and embryo development. It increases the chances of pregnancy. More cost effective. Personalized fertility treatment for affected persons. But it is under research. जल्दी ही ये मार्केट में सीट आएगा. So, take home message is: some cases of infertility, they have epigenetic etiologies. The most common epigenetic mechanisms regarding infertility are DNA methylation. Epigenetic clocks are based on age-associated DNA methylation changes. Most widely utilized clocks include Horvath clock, Hannum clock, PinoAge, and Grimm age. Epigenetic changes are reversible by healthy lifestyle, drug administration, and genetic interventions. These are my references.